guys, Jenny with On Fire Fit. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen today. I actually had not planned on making a video, but I am sitting here chopping vegetables for a soup and doing a few other things all at the same time. And I thought, the thoughts going through my head right now, I probably should say out loud because maybe they will help you like they have helped me. So I am going to take you on a quick little tour of what I am doing, but I first want to tell you what the thoughts were. So one of the things that I know you probably are already aware of is the excuses that you make about your health. And I know that you probably have heard this too many times before, but I'm going to say it again and we're going to get real applicable with it. You're either making excuses or you are coming up with solutions, but you cannot have both of them going on at the same time. As long as you are acting like a victim, acting like you don't have the power to change, you have removed all sense of responsibility for making change in your life so that you can get healthy. And I really feel that it is important that we understand, first of all, why this really matters. And it cannot just be so that I can lose weight. The reason I'm saying that is in your moment of weakness, when you are deciding whether or not you're going to eat something that you think is going to work against you, you're not going to care quite as much about that number on the scale. But if you have a higher purpose, if you have a higher reason, you will be more likely to come up with a solution and stick with the resolve to do what you set out to do. And I'm going to use an example from my own life that I've talked about before. But for me, eating a little too much in the evening or drinking wine in the evening, which, you know, eating foods that are not perfect for you all the time is not the end of the world. Drinking a glass of wine is not the end of the world. But when we step outside the boundaries of what is really best for us, we find ourselves going in the wrong direction, and we're really not moving in the direction that we had ever hoped or know that we're supposed to be going in. So learning that my higher purpose is to get busy writing, to work with people on getting healthier in their lives, because then they can go out and do their purpose. That is something that is really important to me. So when I'm in the mode of, oh, I'd rather just drink a couple glasses of wine, knowing that I'm not going to be motivated to catch up with people and make sure how they're doing, write or read things that are going to help me to be able to communicate better, whatever the case might be. It's in those moments that I say, you know what, this isn't going to work toward my goal. It's actually taking me away from it. And I have something important that I want to do in my life, and I am taking the step. I don't want to work against it. So I come up with solutions instead of excuses. And I have made my share of excuses before, believe me. Oh, my jaw hurts and a glass of wine will sure help it to feel better. But so do some essential oils. Well, rub that into it, and guess what? I don't have to have the glass of wine. So maybe the excuse was just allowing me to do what I already was hoping to do anyway. Maybe that's the way it is for you. So I'm using examples like this because what I hear a lot from my patients as well as my clients is that, let's use the example of fast food. Well, I don't have any choice but to eat fast food. And when I tell them, well, I know you're busy, but could you run into Trader Joe's and get one of those little sushi platter things instead of getting the hamburger, fries, and Coke? Oh, well, they don't have Trader Joe's nearby. Okay. Could you grab a salad with chicken and ask for the dressing on the side? Well, I could, but I don't know. Just in my moment of weakness, I always order the hamburger, fries, and Coke. Okay, so here's the thing. Your excuse is just giving you the license to do what you already wanted to do. and you have forgotten the higher purpose. So all the complaining about the extra weight, all the complaining about how rotten you feel, you should just stop complaining about that. Stop saying you don't know what to do. You do know what to do, and you just don't want to do it badly enough. You just don't want to make progress as much as you want what you want right now. And I'm not saying that as a judgmental thing, because I have lived this for very long. Not so much, well, food is one area, but wine is one area. But writing for me has been the thing lately that I've made a million excuses about. Well, I don't have time. Then when I do have time, well, I'm not motivated. Well, the Lord's gonna motivate you because this is the thing that He put on your heart. Okay, well, maybe I'll wait until I have a free day completely. You know, this is where I was living in a realm of excuses too. And I finally got to the point where I was like, this is not gonna happen unless I start coming up with solutions. So my solution is you sit down and pray and ask God, what would you like me to write for the next 20 minutes? And a lot of times it turns into longer than that. But rather than waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, I have gotten to where I intentionally decide what I'm going to do and I follow through on it. And guess what? God has provided. And that's how it works. We're in a relationship with Him. He guides us and directs us, but we actually have to act. We can't wait until someday, and we can't make a bunch of excuses that take that plan off our radar and pushes it on to some other day, okay? So I want you to think about that. What excuses are you making, and what solutions can you have so that you won't continue in that line of thought? So right now, this is what I was doing when I started thinking all of that. I'm gonna flip the camera around if I can. Oh, maybe not. Let me just take you through my kitchen really quick. I just steamed some carrots, but I actually was nibbling on them. So, and I used my Instant Pot, which I got recently and I really love it. I made hard-boiled eggs today that the shells just come right off. I have a whole bunch of hard-boiled eggs in here. They just slide right off. It makes it so easy. You don't even have to buy the pre-peeled hard-boiled eggs, which actually don't taste that great, but that's sometimes what I would fall for. But now the Instant Pot has changed that for me. I am making a soup right now. I've chopped up some onion, some garlic I'm about to chop up. I have some sweet potatoes. I have some carrots, and I am going to use my brown rice pasta. And this is where, let's see, let's go back over to my broth. I have broth that I am using that I had taken a whole chicken and I cooked the whole chicken, and then the drippings from it are going to be the base for the soup. So this is going to be something that I can, you know, serve up tonight and throughout the next few days. The other thing that I do is my vitamins I put into a day of the week thing, because going and opening up every container along the way, and sometimes I have the excuse, oh, I don't have time, or mentally somehow my brain just like blocks that from my thinking, so that I don't end up taking the vitamins. So that's my little vitamin thing. It makes it really easy just to take them all at once. And I know it seems simple, but it is interesting how our minds work. If we know that there's going to be a little bit of a struggle, we will not do it. And so sometimes we just have to set it up so it's easier. Same concept for me with drinking water. So when I drink out of a cup, a lot of times I'm spilling because I'm thinking of something else at the same time, or talking or looking, driving, whatever. When I'm tipping and so I end up not drinking as much. So make it easy on myself and just always drink with a straw. The other thing that I didn't show you, but I absolutely love, is the thing that's been making a whole bunch of noise here. This is a kind of a little system where the fish is in here. the sprouts are up here and they work together in synergy. So this cute little guy that swims around, his byproducts are what fertilize the sprouts. And then the sprouts help keep this water healthy too. So I use those sprouts, I cut them so they grow. These are sunflower sprouts, but you can get any kind, radish sprouts, wheatgrass. I've done all different kinds. And I just put those on our salad or whatever the case might be. But sprouts are really good because they are packed energy. They are greens that have more energy than other types of greens. So I love that. You can also just buy sprouts at the store, but I found that a lot of times the sprouts that I would get like weirdly soggy and moldy really quick. So I like doing it this way because I know they're safe and fresh. And so that's a little cool way to get a lot of greens in without having to do a lot of work. So anyway, I hope that this has helped you in some way today. I also don't want to come off like judgmental or being too harsh, but I also know that you have a lot more potential and ability than what you give yourself credit for. And so I want to be your cheerleader and remind you that you have the solutions in you and you have the ability to walk out those solutions and stick to them, and that you don't have to rely on excuses. But it all starts here, believing it, knowing it, resolving, deciding beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is important to you and why. And then you will start to act in that. So I hope that you are living an awesome life and that it's on fire.